Okay, brilliant. So this is optional, but if you're going to start doing your forward folds and so on, generally I would also assume, just like mine, that my calves are pretty tight. So this is optional again. If you don't want to do it, if you don't have time, that's fine. But it's a calf stretch. And essentially, I just put my foot on an elevated block or something, on book, and then I just lean forward, and then I pull my knees up and really just put the stress on just stretching the calf here. And I stay like this for maybe about a minute, and I read the news or something like that. And then after that, switch the other side, same thing, 1 minute, and that's it, just one set. It's also good to start using your reciprocal inhibition. So when you're actually doing this, you're actually flexing the muscle in front, right? And forcing that to happen. And then that will actually help to open up your calves at the back here as well, right? So just flex the front, take deep long breaths, just relax, read the news, shouldn't be too bad. So. Okay, I also want to give you an idea. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm super stiff. I can't even generally can't touch my toes, so I can't really touch the ground. This is somewhere, yeah, this is where I am. A bit of that just now actually helped, but yeah, so this is how it goes. I can't really touch the floor sometimes. And then we'll take a look at this after the stretches. But generally I start with a warm up. So I kind of just hang out, put my legs a bit wide. If you can't touch the floor, I generally put some kind of block or a book over here just to rest on it. And I just hang out here. So I take a deep breath, and then I just go down, and then just hang out for a certain amount of time. I take deep breaths, just hold. It helps actually to hug yourself and put some weight on your body. And I don't do any reciprocal or PNF. I just hang out here, yeah. And then I'm kind of sway a little bit from left to right. You're gonna find some juicy bits where you're not flexible, yeah. So this is just to kind of warm up into the stretch, and then you can see that slowly I'm starting to open already. And what I'll do is come up, bring my feet closer, do the same thing. Generally, what you're trying to do here is actually to tell your brain that actually you're in a safe position and it's okay to stretch. You don't need to push yourself very hard for this, right? This is just to kind of get yourself acclimatized to stretching. As you bring your feet closer, it's going to get tougher. Keep your knees in, so don't bend your knees. So you might be somewhere here, that's okay. Also, when you're coming down, try not to create this sort of arch, right? If you're tricking yourself if you're trying to do this and trying to touch the floor with your hands. Instead, don't worry about it, but try to get your belly closer to your thighs. That's a proper way to stretch. It's more difficult, but if you get this right and you keep doing it, you're gonna advance way quicker. Okay, so that's one set. I do it again, one more, and then you start again. I'm speeding up a little bit, but you just take your time. Just breathe, take your time.
Remember, this one is not about forcing yourself, right? It's just kind of breathing and letting your body just get into the stretch. And it will open up slowly on its own. No forcing. If you force, your muscles start to tighten up and then you can't actually stretch. Okay.
Okay, so the forward fold. I want you to focus on this one so that you get it right, get comfortable with what reciprocal inhibition and PNF are. And also the breath. And then you can branch up to other things. So this forward fold, I want you to kind of do it for maybe about 5 sets, 5 to 10, depending on how intense you want your workout to be. I would say that you do this 5 times a week. Maybe once or twice you do a more intense stretch, but you can't do that every day because you will not give your body time to recover. The first set is generally the relaxed one because your body's not used to it yet. So when you get deeper into the sets, then on your third or fourth set, then you can really start to push yourself a little bit more. But right now, if you do that, you're gonna injure yourself. Forward fold. So first one, I would probably spend more time breathing than trying to do PNF and reciprocal. But let's see how we go. Remember that you're not gonna do this right. That's the wrong way to stretch. You should be kind of pushing your belly forward. So you're actually getting a stretch over here. And it makes it difficult to reach your fingers, your feet, but that's fine, right? Okay. So breathe. I'm engaging my tummy to bring it forward, so my core, flexing a little bit on the quads, yeah? Look at that, I'm not really trying to focus to get my head down, it's more about my belly, right? So then I'm actually forcing, getting a better stretch on the hamstrings and the lower back. Okay, now if you're a little bit more warmed up, you can start to try PNF and a bit of reciprocal, right? So we're still in the first set. Okay, so now flex the quads. Right, heels, push them to the ground. Should you point your toes, that takes the stretching out of your calves, right? So that makes it easier to go down. I would say for now, just kind of play with both. See how you go. Just play with both. It's good to do both. But let's do this with our calves at the moment. So go down, flex the quads, flex the abs, right? That's reciprocal. Push the heels down into the ground. And then think about going this horizontal forward. And you do some pulses here. Gentle, not so forceful, but just a little bit. Do 10 to 20. Remember, PNF and reciprocal. Okay, I'm done. Breathe. Just stay in the pose. Breathe. Okay, that's one set. Okay, second set. I would say that you've rested for maybe about a minute, 2 minutes or so. And then we start to go here now. Okay. Belly in. Quads flexed. Heels to the ground. Pause. Not violently, just gently. That's 20. And breathe. rest. Third set. Okay, now we start to use more contraction. Okay, so I forgot to mention as well that this is you're stretching your back line, right? So when you do reciprocal inhibition, you're actually trying to contract your front line. So your muscles over here, your abs, right? This causes you to kind of loosen up on the back line. So this time, same thing, heels to the ground, press it in, right? Flex all your entire front line, including your abs. Go forward. Try to bring your belly to your thighs. It may not be possible now, but that's how you think of it. And go horizontally forward. You're gonna feel a stretch all across here and also your back, and that's normal. 2, 4, 6, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, now breathe. This is our third set. Let the body open. Rest. Okay, fourth set. Just for the purpose of showing how the calves out of the way when you point your toes, how much more flexible you get. We'll do it this way, but you can stay in the other way as well. Okay, so same thing, flex, flex. Now you can't flex this because you're flexing that way. Heels to the ground, push, crush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Breathe. Rest. Okay, last set. This is where you can push yourself a little bit more, but given that this is your first early part of the training, I wouldn't push yourself too hard. So we talked about 5 to 10 sets now. Just make sure, just do 3 for now. Right, you're probably going to be sore, so just give yourself some time to adapt to that, and then you start to do maybe 5 to 10 as the norm. Last set, you can push yourself a little bit more. Some people like to hold a light weight, use that as a weight to bring you down. Be careful, I've hurt myself before, so not a big fan of that. Sometimes I'd rather just kind of use my own hand weight. Let's go for the 5th set. Alright, so I'm gonna do this with my body weight, right? And do 20, 2, 4, 6. Crunch the abs, your quads, your calves, the front of your calves. Travel horizontally. Reach forward as far as you can. Okay, and breathe. Okay, so that's it for the workout. Do that 4 or 5 times a week. So now we can check how your hamstrings are doing, right? So, yeah, so have a go, right? After your 5 to 6 sets, have a go. You can see that you're way more open. But remember, always when it comes to the forward fold, it's more about getting your stomach belly to your thighs than trying to touch your toes. And you start to make a C. You don't want to C, you want to flat. Alright, good luck.